Okay, today is the Veterans Day and we have two veterans here. Myself, I was in the US Navy, and this is my father-in-law, was in the Army. The Army is heavy duty than in Navy. So, Pa, we call Pa because his grandfather. How did you join the Army? Did you just go show up yourself on the list back in the day? How does it?
I was going to junior college and I dropped the amount of units that I was taking down below a certain level because I was working and I wanted to work more hours, so I dropped my units down. And then I keep going.
Just here. You can go, yeah. You can turn through here, yeah.
So I dropped my units down to work more, and the government sent me a notice to have a induction physical. So I went and took the physical, passed the physical, and then they, like a month later, I got my induction notice to report to downtown Los Angeles to the induction center.
And back in the day, at that time, it was the time you were drafted.
Right, so I was drafted, and my father took me to the induction center one morning very early, and we went through numerous tests throughout the whole day. Yeah. Physical, whatever. And at the very end of the day, we were sworn in to the United States Army, and then that evening we took a bus from Los Angeles to Fort Ord, California, which is north of Los Angeles, about 225 miles. Got there early before dawn and met our drill sergeant, which wasn't a very pleasant experience. So the yelling began.
Just out of the bus.
So for the next 8 weeks, we had basic training, learning all the different military rules, military conduct.
Should we go to the Freddy first because you'll be closer?
And then after 8 weeks of basic training, we graduated to advanced training, and I was put into an advanced training unit for infantry.
Did you choose?
I did not choose. No. They chose for you. So they needed people for infantry, and I figured our group was going to Vietnam, and I was right. So we finished. We had 16 weeks of advanced infantry training, and which way am I going here, Ernest?
Oh, we're supposed to go to the Freddy's. The Freddy's. Oh, yeah, we took it right here because it's just here.
So I scored very high on weapons qualifications for M16, M60 machine gun, and then I was put into a training for 81mm mortars and 4.2-inch mortars. So I was then given an MOS of 11 Charlie, which is heavy weapons. So we finished our 16 weeks of training at Fort Ord. We had 1 month leave, and after the month I reported to Los Angeles Airport with the rest of my group that was all met there at the airport, and we went to Fort Lewis, Washington. And from Fort Lewis, Washington, we flew to Vietnam. We stopped at Anchorage, Alaska. We stopped at Tokyo, Japan. And the final stop was Cam Ranh Bay, Vietnam, which is above Saigon, probably 200 miles or so above Saigon. So we were in Cam Ranh Bay. It's a very, very large naval army base. And we were there for a while. We had 10 days of jungle training. They taught us how to look out for booby traps. different things that the Viet Cong were going to use against us. And then we were assigned to our companies, our platoons, and our squads. And we flew out by helicopter, Huey helicopter, to a mountaintop, what they call a fire base. And on the fire base, the only way to get there was by helicopter. And on the fire base, they had 105 howitzer artillery, they had the 81 millimeter mortars, and they had an infantry company, and then our heavy weapons platoon. We stayed there for 4 or 5 days, dug foxholes, ate sea rations. It wasn't very pleasant. And then they...
Oh, sorry, it was supposed to be here.
Oh, shit,
sorry.
right there?
No, you can just go through here, sorry. You can get in through the whatever.
Go through here?
Yeah, and go through the parking lot.
Go through here?
Sorry.
So, one day, we were there about a week, and then one day one of the sergeants came by.
Yeah, you can go through inside here.
And wanted to know if there were any volunteers to go to another fire base, which was called Nui Vong.
Yeah, Freddy's in the front. The one straight to us.
And I figured any place was better than where I was at right then. So I volunteered to go to this new mountaintop fire base. And
so you go direct to Fred.
I gotta go through there.
Yeah. And but that was your first time to go outside the United States. It was direct to go to Vietnam.
Right.
And when you were drafted, and everybody was drafted to the Army, or you can be drafted to the Navy or other branches.
When at the induction center, they had different branches of service, the Marines, Navy, Air Force, and they could actually come and...
So you can park anywhere and then you can go inside. Yeah.
Right here. But I was inducted into the Army. Some people got chosen by the Marines right there from our group. And
how old were you at that time?
22 at that time.
Okay, there are differences in two things. Number one, just to join the military, that's number one. So there are good things and you're excited. But there is another time, I'm just finishing the basic training and I'm going overseas. What went in your mind at that time?
A lot. Yeah. Well, my father was in South Pacific during World War II. He was with the Army Signal Corps. He was in all the islands in the South Pacific, Guam, Iwo Jima, different places. They set up all the communications for the troops that are on the island. But so he told me a little bit what to expect, and he told me never to volunteer for anything that I wasn't totally sure about. So, but I was very lucky. I didn't get hurt, and a lot of my friends did get hurt, didn't come home, but it was an experience, and I would do it again. So I was proud to serve my country.
And at one time, I told you I'm planning to join the military. What did you, I mean, just for you, when I told you for the first time, I'm thinking to join the Navy, what was you thinking, like, why am I joining, or what was in your mind, like, about, for me, saying I'm planning to join?
I thought it was going to be a good thing for you. It would teach you a lot of discipline, ways that our country does things compared to Tanzania, African countries. But I knew it would be a good thing for you to experience, and you did well. So
Thank you so much, and thank you for your service to save the greatest country on the planet Earth. We are so proud of you, pal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.